Hi there, this is our weekly AstroTarot. Well, lots of major arcana shown up today, which is speaking to the things that we are going through, that we are being faced with right now. We have some interesting energies being highlighted by the moon, and I guess, something that I want to share that has really helped me understand the transits of astrology more is looking at big pivotal changes in my life and where planets were by transit in aspect to my natal chart, because it was really telling to how different astrological transits kind of opened up these gateways of opportunity and change and shifts for me, and what resulted in that. And for me personally anyway, it gives a framework of understanding how changes are there in our life to provide opportunity because we are stagnant in some area. And because we have all of these kind of pivotal points happening right now in the fixed signs, I want to remind people of that, because we do have a lot of things shifting in areas that we might feel like we have hesitancy or resistance toward changing. Now, as far as the tarot goes, we have this opening card of the Page of Pentacles that showed up reverse. So a lot of us might be in this kind of critical mindset of ourselves and where we put our energy. And yet consider that, the moon is in Virgo right now, which is what this card is referencing. And so we can, just take a closer look at what influences where we put our energy, and also put our energy towards something that's practical in nature, right? Like look at our routines, look at how we might want to set up our routines, because perhaps our routines have kind of run amok. And with the moon in Virgo, it's giving us that energetic of like re-examining those things. So it's a good time to, turn your attention towards that which you need to tend to and take care of. Maybe organize your closet, or, clean up a certain area of your house, or, put something in order, because that's what Virgo does. It can tend to sometimes look at things in a very, critical manner. And yet part of that is the nature of seeing what is going to be useful in our efforts and our energy. Now, the challenge that we have showing up is the Wheel of Fortune card. So some big change, some big shift or turn of events that kind of makes us have to set our feet a little bit differently. The Wheel of Fortune is influenced by the energy of Jupiter, and we have Jupiter right now at 8 degrees. Consider that Jupiter is in a sextile relationship to Saturn, which is, interestingly enough, the way that we're moving through the challenge. And Saturn is right now in an opposite or 180 degree angle to the moon. So what does that mean? Well, Saturn is the planet of responsibility, and it's bringing clarity and insight in the area wherever Pisces sits in your chart. So Pisces is this energy of where we can go to the deepest depths and the highest highs, and it's this deep energy of emotion and dreaminess. It's like the vastness of all the possibilities of the ocean. It's indefinite. And yet Saturn being here in a lot of ways is kind of bringing some sobriety to this area and bringing us to a level of responsibility in this area. It's like, if you're going to go out in the ocean, do you have everything that you need on the ship to get you through what you need to get through? So wherever Pisces is in your chart, whether it's in your first house, which is your sense of self, or your second house, which is your resources and how you earn your income, or your third house, which is in communication and, education and our mind, and or your fourth house, the home, or the fifth house, which is, creative endeavors and the realm of children and new love affairs and new love interactions. Or if it's in the 6th house, which is in your place of work, your actual job, and also, pets. Whether it's in your 7th house, which is in the house of relationship, or the 8th house, which is in the house of debts and other people's money, or the 9th house, which is, the house of big business and long distance travel, or the 10th house, which is your life path and your reputation in front of others and how you present yourself in front of others, or the 11th house, the house of friendships, the house of siblings, and, earnings from your life path, or the 12th house, which is, the skeletons in the closet and the house of self-undoing, all of these houses, and by houses, I mean, the little pieces of the pie in your natal chart. All of them represent a different area of your life, and the planets and where they're placed right now are going to influence those areas of your life, like anchors, kind of forcing you to dock your ship and take a better look at that energy, particularly if it's an outer planet like Saturn, which moves around the entire, zodiac system in around 28 to 30 years. So it's going to spend 2.5 years in Pisces, and it just went retrograde within the last week. And so we're in this place of review around what we need to change, what we need to have, some kind of responsibility toward. And Jupiter is in that sextile relationship, which means that it's providing an energy that can help us if we take advantage of it, if we take the reins, right? And why I say take the reins is because the ultimate outcome is the Chariot, right? The charioteer. And this is someone who is, disciplined in knowing the path that they're moving toward, and they have the self-control to guide themselves through whatever they have to navigate through to get there. The charioteer is governed by the moon, and it's also really interesting because keep in mind that the sun is in Cancer right now, and the charioteer refers to Cancer, and we're going to have a full moon in right around Independence Day on 3rd and 4th of July, which is when the moon is going to be in Capricorn opposite the sun, which is in Cancer. And there's some things that have been under the surface that we've been looking at and considering that are really going to be revealed and brought to the surface. And we're going to have some kind of, control over these two creatures here that ultimately could, lead us off our path if we let them kind of guide our chariot in a direction that's not in alignment with where we're going. And so we have to be, considerate that it's we who are responding to the situation and the circumstance that we're in, and the exchanges and engagements and things that we come upon as we're going out on this journey called life. It's not there to punish us. It's not there to make us feel like a victim. We have to learn how to control ourselves in that situation, regardless of whatever presents itself. And in a lot of ways, that is the controlling, self-controlling nature of this Cancerian energy that we're working with, and that is providing itself through this experience that we're all going through right now. Now, consider that, as I said, Jupiter is in Taurus, and we also have Uranus in Taurus, which surprises me that it actually didn't come into the reading. Another clarity card that I pulled for us is the Justice card, which is related to Libra, and we just had the South Node move into Libra, and the North Node is in Aries. And so we do have this kind of quality of relationship that's coming on the table. And how do we make decisions knowing everything that's on the table, right? Like, how do we have clarity around a situation, because we have Neptune right now in Pisces as well. And so it's going to be in opposition to the moon here as well too, because the moon is the fastest moving celestial body, right? And yet we have this square in I bring up relationship and I bring up Venus because Venus right now is over in Leo. It's in a relationship with Mars right now, and that is in a square relationship with Uranus. And so there's some change, there's some aspect to relationship which is really bringing something to the surface that we have to, make a decision about with everything on the table, right? Like, have you taken into account everything? There might be, a lot of good aspects to it, and there might be a few bad aspects to it, but is it something that is going to bring you to the table in a level of work? Because ultimately, everything in life takes work. And I say that because the last card that we drew for today's reading is the Three of Pentacles. And this is the master craftsman. This is the person who has a vision and has the support of their community to build it. And it's going to take time and it's going to take effort. And everything in life that's worthwhile does, right? In order for us to reap the biggest harvest from our garden, we have to make sure that it has water and food and weed it, right? We have to tend to it in an ongoing way. And we have to do that in our relationships and also in where we put our energy in life, and we're examining that particularly today because we had this opening card of the Page of Pentacles. So if you're not where you want to be, take a sober look at where you put your time and energy and where you can make the adjustments, because the vision that you feel called to creating is worthwhile. And perhaps everything is changing and shifting to show you where it's most useful to put your energy. I send you all a lot of love. And of course, if you are interested in taking a closer look at your chart to see where these energies are showing up for you and how they might be aspecting your natal chart, reach out to me at rootsofalchemy@gmail.com, or go ahead and purchase your reading through rootsofalchemy.com. You'll also find some of my art there, as well as some of my body care products. I hope you're well, and I send a good wish to you. Bye for now.